Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einem neuen React. Heute mit dem lieben Sven.
Hallo.
Und wir gucken gemeinsam 25 Videogames that reward evil players. Heißt so viel wie übersetzt, ne? 25 Videospiele, die einem bösen Spieler belohnen. Videos auf Englisch, aber ihr habt ja bestimmt kein Problem damit. Ich auch nicht. Gut. Go.
Video games are the best way to become the hero or villain of your dreams, and while usually you get punished for being evil, in Fallout 3, it pays to be a war criminal. Hundreds of people reside in the city of Megaton, casually living each day with an undetonated nuke lying around. You can do the right thing and disarm the bomb, but across the desert is a rich guy named Alistair Tenpenny who wants you to detonate it because it ruins his balcony view. But I guess if you obliterate an entire town of innocents, do it for a rich guy because you get a luxury suite and 1,000 bottle caps for your crimes. And he's not the only wealthy guy you could profit from. In The Sims, you could create the perfect life, including falling in love and getting married to someone well off. Step 1 complete. Now activate your evil plan by kicking out his old family, taking their money, and plotting his death. Congratulations, you sicko. All his possessions are now yours, and you can even go marry someone else, but don't forget to put a nice message on the gravestone. In Skyrim, there's a quest that truly lets you embrace those evil thoughts, and it all starts when you're asked to investigate a string of murders. This leads you to a cannibal cult that kidnaps and eats people, so now you have a choice to make. Either kill the leader and bring justice to the dead, or if you have a sudden craving for flesh, join them. To be initiated, you have to go back to the priest who sent you on this quest and bring him to the cult who eats him alive. Your reward is the Ring of Namira. Now you can chow on any corpse to regain health whenever you want. I mean, this one is disgusting. Remember when we just nuked Megaton of Fallout? Well, so does Goat Simulator 3, because its tribute to the quest starts with this big red button. What's the worst that could happen? Well, not only do you get an achievement called Kim Jong Oops, it unlocks an exclusive Fallout jumpsuit that you can't get anywhere else. And at Fable Anniversary, you can take part in a tournament and fight tons of champions. Only one problem, the final opponent is Whisper, your childhood friend from the start of the game. You're forced to fight each other, and upon your victory, you must decide her fate on the spot. One final strike to end it all, or spare her life. Well, most would say Whisper and get the morality points. If you're messed up, the reward is even better.
Wow. 10.000 Gold für einen alten
And that's just like The Witcher 3, where the final mission in Hearts of Stones gives you a difficult choice. One of the main characters is locked in a soul contract with a mysterious person known as Gaunter O'Dean. This guy kills people for fun, has strange powers, and his name spells out G-O-D, so he's clearly not a human. The obvious choice is to save your friend from this deal, but for some reason, you could choose to help the demon instead, killing Olgierd and taking his soul. For your work, O'Dean offers you a ton of rewards, with one of them being an infinite bottle of vodka. And I know it sounds like a joke, but it makes some of the best potions in the game. And only the most heartless people would actually do this, but in Crash Bandicoot 2, there's some adorable baby polar bears. I mean, just look at them. Wait, no, don't stop on them. Why are we getting extra lives for this?
What?
Another reward that's messed up is a cave story. At one point in the game, you'll find this guy who's trapped in a giant pit. It's easy to jump down and rescue him, but if you do that, he just straight up dies on the spot. Even weirder is what happens when you don't rescue him. He somehow lives and appears later in the game, giving you a jetpack for being a jerk. And the developers of Ratchet & Clank 3 must hate monkeys because you could find Scrunch running around the bridge and chase him down. He's hard to catch, but once you hit him multiple times, the game hands you a skill point, some in-game currency, and a whole achievement just for abusing this poor guy. Moving back to Fable, it really pushes you to go down a good path or an evil one. If you sit on the fence, the rewards are garbage. But when you go around killing people and doing horrible things, the bad karma will eventually hand you the strongest weapon in the game, Storm's Bow. I mean, come on, Fable, what's your obsession with being evil? Speaking of sacrificing people, Goat Simulator lets you perform a satanic ritual, killing your fellow goats to gain demonic powers. With this, you now have a sick new outfit and the ability to create black holes, not to mention flying around the air for an impossible amount of skill points. A reward you'll be ashamed to have isn't high in life, because early in the game, you get stopped by this kid who's just messing around calling you fresh meat.
What's wrong, fresh meat? You scared of a little kid? Yeah, I'm a little kid, look at me.
Adorable, but hey, you're the guy holding a gun, so obviously there's some temptation there. But even your gun will desperately tell you not to do it.
Whoa, what are you doing? Come on, he's just a kid. Don't shoot him.
In most games, you're only allowed to shoot adults, so when you gun down poor Slumsley, an achievement will pop up to remind you of that fact. But that's nothing compared to Doom's secret arcade machine that
Sehr geil.
encourages you to be a total jerk. It's called Super Turbo Turkey Puncher, and that's exactly what the game is, just endless turkey bashing. Only psychos would sit here and do this endlessly. I mean, do you really need a high score? Well, the developers of the game will email every evil player who does this with a message shaming you for punching turkeys. And I guess feels bad, but then you get an achievement, which is all that matters to some people. Sometimes the rewards just outweigh the shame, and it's definitely like that in Infamous. Sure, you could choose to be good and get a better ending, but if you go down the evil path, it unlocks way better powers, and you could go around causing mass destruction. Not only are they stronger, but it just makes the game 10 times more fun. Harry Potter's most infamous curse is a spell of Avada Kedavra. It instantly kills anyone it touches, and that's why it's forbidden. But in Hogwarts Legacy, you could go down the evil path and learn this magic for yourself, with all the forbidden curses locked behind this evil route. It just makes the game way easier and arguably more fun. At one point in Arkham City, you can play the Catwoman DLC, which gives you the chance to be someone other than Batman. But the real twist is when his fate gets put in your hands. You could rescue him or leave him to get expensive jewelry, and the right thing to do will be saving a life, but anyone who loves free stuff gets a secret ending where they walk out and complete the game right there. In Overlord, you also get better items for bad karma. But when you have the lives of innocent peasants in your hands, being good does absolutely nothing. You don't even get a reward, whereas slaughtering them pays you a bunch of gold and points for more evil abilities. And I can't lie, everyone who plays Red Dead Redemption has at one point tried to run someone over with a train, okay? No need to stand on a high horse. Pretty difficult in the sequel, but the original literally has a button to tie people to the tracks. You're never encouraged to do this, so it's a pretty big judge of character when they get brutally murdered. Kinda worth it though, because now you've earned the Dastardly achievement. The same goes for people in Elden Ring who have no self-control. Vlad the Half-Wolf is one of the coolest NPCs in the game. He's friendly, helps you out, and I mean, just look at him. You wouldn't want to get on this guy's bad side. But the most arrogant players can actually kill Bly for no reason, and instead of other NPCs, which usually shame you for being evil, he drops overpowered armor. Heading back to Skyrim, you can find a malicious god named Molag Bal, and he asks you to help get revenge on a priest that wronged him. You must lure this innocent guy to the cave, beat him into submission, and then brutally murder him, all because a demon told you to. Guess it was worth it though, because now you have a powerful weapon called the Mace of Molag Bal. What's even more messed up is a choice in Chrono Cross. Your friend gets poisoned, and in most games you'd be given a quest to help them, but here it politely asks you, and you can totally say no. Be a weird thing to do considering Kid is a very important character, so letting them die is insanely chaotic. But if you refuse to help, this unlocks one of the best characters in the game called Glenn, and Kid doesn't die anyway, so it's actually the best option. Soul Sacrifice is the option to save or kill enemies in the storyline, but in multiplayer, your friends have the same choice and it could go horribly wrong. Yeah, you can straight up sacrifice your teammates for fun, and even though they'll be pissed, it lowers the HP of enemies, so the game's a lot easier. Slime Rancher has a feature that only the most evil people would ever attempt. Placing an incinerator on your farm is a useful way to get rid of trash, but taking out your launcher to fire a baby chickadee straight inside is so horrific that even the game calls you a monster. Hey, at least you get an achievement, so it's not all bad. The craziest types of decisions are those you would never expect to make. In a Fallout 3 Broken Steel, the final quest asks you to fire missiles at the bad guys you've been fighting the entire time. There is like 4 other options for these rockets to go, and one of those will kill the allies you've been working with for no reason. It's the only time this is ever possible, so of course the morbidly curious players will press it, and in the rubble of your fallen allies, you'll find the best gun in the game. Somewhere you'd never expect to be evil is a Spider-Man game, but in Web of Shadows, there's a black symbiote path that gives you an exclusive suit. If you keep upgrading it, this unlocks one of the coolest powers in the game, the human skateboard, letting you slide people and enemies like a bowling ball. Lesson learned, to do bad things, you get nice rewards. So if you all enjoyed, it's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.
Oh weia, ey. Da gab's ja schon echt komische Sachen gerade, ja. Holy moly, ey. Aber es ist immer krass, wenn er so viel... egal. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen mit dem React. Falls ja, dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Video. Ja. Bis dann. Tschüss.
Ciao.